The Last Frontier, starring Linda Evans.
One woman, 4 kids, no money.
She expected to find a home. Instead, she had to fight to survive. Fight the man who threatened to destroy her.
Larapinta isn't for sale. I've decided to stay.
You'll be out of here in a month.
Fight the one man who loved her.
I don't know what the Australian equivalent to go to hell is, Mr. Sennington, but I wish you would.
Violent emotions stir deep passions in The Last Frontier. This Sunday at 7:45 on HTV.
It don't run, 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 it don't run, run. Heinz is nicotine, so it never will. It don't run, 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 it don't run, run. Yeah, it tastes so fine. Yeah, it tastes divine. Oh, but it takes its time. It don't run, 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 it don't run, run.
There's nothing like the rich tomatoey taste of Heinz ketchup.
David?
Hi.
That woman, the one you had breakfast with this morning, she won't be able to make it tomorrow.
Oh?
Yes, she won't be around. In fact, you'll be seeing a lot less of her generally.
How come?
Well, you know, flying off here, meetings there.
You got the job.
One deal after another.
Great news. What about a car? What do they offer you?
Car? Oh, I think you'll like it, David. Strictly functional. Nothing too excessive.
Renault 25. One of your better decisions. There is an oil that is continually changing, keeping pace with engine technology, so you can be confident no matter how hard you drive your car. There is one moving part in your engine that has the future built in. It is Castrol GTX liquid engineering, fitted in your engine.
Try new Formula Frisch in your loo. It has more power to clean right under the rim. More strength to lift off stains and go on attacking germs. And it clings on longer to keep your loo fresher. New, thicker Frisch. More power, more freshness.
Oh no, the dreaded roller. Wait a minute, Dulux Solid Emulsion. Funny looking paint. My mistake, it's cream cheese. Goes on nice and even though, and not that splattery judging by his head. He can't be finishing already. Very good. Better check the finish. Good stuff, this cream cheese.
Dulux Solid Emulsion. The paints rollers have been waiting for.
The voice of Alison Moyet. The latest album, Rain Dancing. The hit singles, the haunting ballads. Alison's latest album is a classic. It is Rain Dancing. On record, cassette and CD, now.
TV Times proudly presents Dame Edna Everage. As she launches her new chat show, she gives us a few tasty tips. We visit Sir Harry Seacombe's new hilltop home. Linda Evans swaps Dynasty for the Outback. There's The Week Ahead on ITV and Channel 4. And you could win a car and a holiday. Only in TV Times this week.
She got to wash 3 times a day for me, you know. A pile of things every day. But when I come home and I got nothing there, like, it gets me nasty then, you know. I mean, you get things that go in, you're shouting and bawling, like. And that's when, you know, I give it a clip, and that brings them together then. When I think you've got to give them a clout now and again. Just pull them together, like. Or you just give them a shake, like, you know, but that doesn't do. But if you give them a clout.
You're watching HTV Wales. We now join the studios of ITN in London for the news at 10.
The Gulf Peace Plan, mission difficult but not impossible. The mail-order shotgun that Britain's police want banned. The Pope tells American AIDS victims, you're in our heart. The Liverpool soccer fans are all charged with manslaughter. And Mr. Croker says the England supporters passed the test. Good evening. The United Nations Secretary-General, Mr. Perez de Cuellar, has set off for Iran, saying he's now hopeful for an end to the Gulf War. He's due in Tehran tomorrow evening and Baghdad, the Iraqi capital, on Sunday. As he left New York, Mr. Perez de Cuellar said he had plenty of ideas and he was looking for clear-cut reactions to them from both sides. Tonight, Iraq said its planes had attacked Haag Island, Iran's main oil terminal, again, hitting a tanker. Earlier, Iraqi air raids on Darood, Amirabad and other cities were said to have killed or wounded at least 61 people. Iran shelled Basra and Sulaymaniyah, killing its reported 19. And Iranian Revolutionary Guards in fast motorboats attacked and damaged the Cypriot supertanker Haven, heading out of the Gulf with Saudi oil.
Given that the Iran-Iraq war has raged for 7 years, Mr. Perez de Cuellar's departure for the war zone to try to win peace might be thought destined to fail. He, however, appears undaunted.
Well, I am hopeful. That's what I am going there, and I hope that I can extract from both sides a very clear-cut reaction to my ideas.
And Western diplomats are tonight cautiously counselling that he does have a chance of success. The 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council sanctioned his trip only if he was assured that Iran would finally give an answer to the UN demand for a ceasefire. Mr. de Cuellar says Iran has indicated that it will abide by that condition. So, aboard Concorde tonight, out of New York's Kennedy Airport, the UN Secretary-General left on what British diplomats describe as mission difficult, but not impossible. Travelling via Paris and Geneva, tomorrow he will take a private jet into Tehran and there meet the country's President Khamenei, the Foreign Minister Mr. Valiati, and the powerful Speaker of the Parliament Mr. Rafsanjani. What Iran will tell Mr. de Cuellar is seen as depending upon which faction has the upper hand. Ayatollah Khamenei has indicated he wants the war to go on. His London representative says any peace deal must include blaming Iraq as aggressor. But despite continuing attacks in the Gulf by his Revolutionary Guards, Western analysts believe the attacks are relatively muted and that these previously wilder factions are now working in the shadow of Iran's other key faction, that identified with Mr. Rafsanjani. Analysts say that he and the official armed forces favour ending the fighting whilst Iran is still well placed. They are said now to recognise that the Americans in particular won't let Iran win the conflict. After Tehran, Mr. de Cuellar flies on to Baghdad. The Iraqi President Saddam Hussein will tell him that whilst Iraq wants a ceasefire, he doesn't believe Iran will accept one. Unable to win the war alone, Iraq is expected then to increase its tanker attacks in the hope that Iran is provoked into striking the international presence there, so bringing another force in on Iraq's side. In all this, the most unusual aspect is the degree to which the interests of both superpowers have now fused. With ships from both their navies on active duty in the Gulf, both Moscow and Washington want an end to the war because they both fear its spread and both fear the consequences if Iran wins. As recently as 10 days ago, many Western diplomats were against Mr. de Cuellar attempting his mission at all. It is a measure of their interest in what Iran has been saying that tonight, East and West at the UN are united in believing it's worth the risk.
The Royal Navy's Armilla patrol in the Gulf has still seen no hostile action, but it's found another enemy in the heat. We have a second exclusive report from the frigate HMS Andromeda.
The BT Banker, a crude oil carrier of 340,000 tons, is the 21st British ship that HMS Andromeda has accompanied in or out of the Gulf during the past month. In all, for Andromeda, over 2.5 million tons of British shipping seen safely on its way. Although no mines have been seen for weeks, the thin-skinned